So I've watched BlizzCon yesterday, and very interesting. I remember when they said they can't hold it online because the infrastructure required won't allow for so many people to connect simultaneously, and it's going to be a bad experience for everyone. So this is why they made BlizzCon into a real event. So you went there and you actually paid the money in order to get to see ads. Because that's what BlizzCon is. It's advertisements for their new games. So it was one of the only cases in humanity that I'm aware of where you pay someone in order for them to show you ads. It was absolutely beautiful. Then as technology advances, they realize that, well, why can't we stream it online for the people who can't get there? And you had BlizzCon where you attend, and then if you want to watch it online, you have to pay a price. But they say, well, you know, you get a goodie bag. So you get a goodie bag, which was like maybe a plushie and a couple of cards for Hearthstone and some decals for StarCraft. And you're actually paying money for the goodie bag. It's like, why can't I just watch your goddamn ads without buying the goodie bag? Like, what if I want to piss on your goodie bag and I just want to watch the goddamn thing? No. See, it's connecting to the goodie bag. Okay. This year it wasn't. This year, for the first time, you get to see BlizzCon for free. Isn't that astonishing? To me, this is a sign that Blizzard is losing a lot in popularity. And I mean a lot. I mean, if they're going to have to pull this through, it means they know they're suffering. Which is a good thing, because I really hate them. They're a bunch of hypocrites. You know, I saw them having like rainbow t-shirts and rainbow flags and pride flags and stuff, which is all great. You know, excellent. When are you going to do that in China? Because they're making business with China, and you're not allowed to have that type of thing there. China too strong for them to speak truth to power. They love speaking truth to power. But the China is too strong, huh? Yeah, they're all about left-leaning and progressive issues and supporting protesters' right to protest, unless it's Hong Kong. Yeah. So a lot of people don't like them because of it. Now let's talk about their games. The game I didn't care about is World of Warcraft. Like, I'm sorry, it's just a very old game. The new expansion is just a blatant cash grab. You're not getting a new race. You're not getting a new class. There's nothing that actually modifies the game to justify an expansion pack. You're literally getting just some patches that are put together and they charge you a full price for it. That's what you're getting, okay? If you want to buy into that, by all means. I don't care. You know, that's something that I don't like. The second thing that I want to talk about is the games that I found kind of meh. I mean, these are games that I would play, I would buy them, but they don't really get me excited. And this is Overwatch 2, which, honestly, this one actually does look like an expansion pack. And what they did with Overwatch 2 is quite bizarre and surprising. So they didn't actually focus on what Overwatch 1 is great, which is the multiplayer. They focused a lot on, I mean, it's a mixture between multiplayer and single player. It's like those events that happen where you're fighting against the AI. So I guess it's like Team Fortress Man versus Machine type of thing. They added some interesting things. Like, for example, if you have a group of robots, they explain, and you shoot one robot, the robot that got shot is going to fall back. And as it's falling back, it's going to affect the other robots. Like, you're going to see the animation of, robots that get blasted by a shotgun use their body to push against other robots from behind. And that's really great. I like that. But then I also noticed that they used a lot of assets from StarCraft. Again, this is to cut cost. So they had a robot that looks exactly like an Immortal. They had a robot that looks exactly like a Zergling. They had a robot that looks exactly like a Mutalisk. And as I'm looking at it, it's like, wow, that's a lot of money that you're saving. You know, is the company in some financial difficulties now? Did you fire your entire creative cast to the point where you have the requirement to do this? Because Blizzard didn't used to do this in the past that much. You know, the only example is Andariel. Okay, fine, like she's the Kerrigan model. But other than that, like they were trying to make up interesting new concept. So there's a lot of focus in making Overwatch into a Left 4 Dead type of thing, which, is okay. I'm interested, but I'm not that excited. Like, personally, the thing that I don't like about Overwatch is, number one, the attitude of the main developer. Okay, like, he came out making a statement saying that the reason he's not adding more patches and more content to the game is because the community is toxic, and this is the fault of the community because now they have to police it. And I'm like, you do realize that these are your paying customers, right? Like, these are the people putting food on your table, and you're shaming them. Go fuck yourself, developer. I'm not going to buy a single more product from your goddamn game until you apologize. You don't get to blame the consumer for your fucking incompetence. No one is asking you to police anything. Like, and even if they were, you police it and shut the fuck up. It's not the fault of the people driving the cars that the car manufacturer cannot release a new model. That's just insane. But anyway, right? So that was number one. They went overboard with the banning. Like, they were banning people for using emotes in the game. They were banning people for picking characters in the game. They were banning people for, like, the most ridiculous stuff. And then they even said that they're going to ban people for what they do on social media. I'm not supporting that. Like, ban, 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 ban. It's like little fucking Hitler in charge of his little game project. It's so bizarre, And when they ban you, they don't give you your money back, of course. They want the money of trolls and toxic people. They just don't want the trolls and toxic people. It's almost as if if you get banned, you can buy the game again, you give them more money. It's almost like it's profitable for them to ban you. Fuck your business practices. That's something that's fucking disgusting. So already I'm turned off just by the moral reason. Not because of the quality of the game, but the moral reason. If we talk about the quality of the game, okay, they removed the skill from the game when I dropped off. Now, afterwards, I understand they brought it back, but let me tell you what I mean about this, okay? The game is supposed to be a first-person shooter. A big part of a first-person shooter is aiming, like moving your mouse, putting that crosshair on the enemy, and taking the shot. That's important. They were releasing heroes that had nothing to do with skill shot anymore. Like Brigitte, perfect example. Love that ass, hate the character. Why? Because, like, she had a very powerful combo that can stun someone, and I would watch it on Twitch or when there were events with people playing this game competitively. And when you saw a Widowmaker landing up 5 headshots, everyone was clapping, everyone was going wild. Why? Because it's difficult to do. But when someone pulled off the Brigitte combo, everyone was like, LOL, because it's like, okay, it's a hero that doesn't have anything to do with skill. And you get to notice that they were releasing more and more of these heroes that had very little to do with aiming, but they had more to do with cooldown management. It was more like turning the game into a League of Legends, rather than having the game more like Team Fortress, which is what a lot of people enjoyed. They wanted Overwatch to be more like Team Fortress. So, like, to me, that wasn't appealing. I mean, maybe it was appealing to you if you enjoy that type of gameplay where, it's more cooldown oriented rather than first-person shooter. Okay, fine. I personally didn't. I didn't like it. Now, do they plan to fix this? I don't know. Like, and I don't think you can even fix it. Like, the only way you can fix it is to release more heroes that are, like, skill-oriented, like McCree or, like, Soldier. And less heroes that are not skill-oriented, like the guy with the gauntlet, forgot his name. He came out after I stopped playing. But anyway, right, so that's my take on Overwatch 2. Also bizarre, like, some characters look better. McCree looks better. Widowmaker looks better. Other characters look fucking ugly. Like, Mercy looks uglier than she did in the previous game. I don't know why they did that. Mercy was a fun, popular, like, everyone liked her. A lot of pictures on the internet with Mercy, a lot of fan art, a lot of cosplay. Everyone liked the character. I don't know why the fuck they touched it. Why didn't they leave it the way it was? It's not like they care about community feedback, but hopefully there's going to be skins or whatnot for Mercy enthusiasts. Okay, let's talk about another game that I found to be meh, was Diablo Remaster. Diablo 2 is not a bad game, okay? It's got the nostalgia purpose. I definitely feel nostalgic when I'm going to play it again. But it's 2021, and that game is fucking old. I mean, Path of Exile is better than Diablo. So, it's going to be like a nice nostalgia trip. Maybe I'll pick it up and play it a little bit. The remaster looks good. I have a lot more hopes for it than I had for Warcraft Refucked. Like, I called Warcraft Refucked before it came out that it's going to be bad, and I was right. Different team working on it. I love that they were talking about other games they remastered, like StarCraft, and other, but they didn't mention Warcraft 3. I wonder why that is. But yeah. So, Diablo 2 Remaster is going to be good. Okay? If they want to add more to it, like if they want to add a new class to it, if they want to add a new act to it, like they can do that. They can add a new expansion to that game. Make it optional. Like you don't have to play it if you don't want it, but like make it optional for people like me. I would definitely get excited. Like I would be like, oh my god, okay, I'm playing this game. But until then, I mean, it's a game I've already played. Sure, it looks better. The lighting looks better. The camera, the movements look better. But it's 2021. You know, the game does show its age, just based around the core concepts. So these are like the games that, okay, I'll buy them, maybe, but it's not something that excites me. Now let's talk about a game that genuinely excited me, which is Diablo 4. Now Diablo 4 looks absolutely amazing. And they talked about the new class, the rogue class. And it's absolutely great. What I love about it is that they have made it so, even though you're playing the rogue class, you now have like 3 different ways to play it, like 3 subcategories, and they're all unique. So you have like the Shadow Realm, and the Shadow Realm, you can just bring a couple of enemies with you into the Shadow Realm, so you're basically like separating the large number of enemies, and you're only fighting a couple of them, making it easier for you. But I guess like this wouldn't be very effective if you're fighting a strong boss, you know, like a strong epic enemy that has no adds. That ability is useless. And then you have another ability, which is, like this is completely separate. Like if you pick this one, you can't pick the Shadow Realm. This ability allows you to expose weakness. So as you're fighting different enemies on the screen, you have like randomly weaknesses pop out. And you can attack those enemies that have the weakness icon upon them, and you do extra damage. And finally, another ability, and this is again like you pick this one, you can't pick the previous two, is to build combo points. So as you're fighting, you build combo points, and then you unleash a devastating ability. Really liked it. And on top of that, you can play the character as range or melee. Like that's another example. So you can pick up a bow with the rogue, or you can use melee weapons like daggers, and it's fucking cool. I definitely loved it. And what makes it even better is that I didn't feel like the rogue class they're making is similar to the Amazon or the Demon Hunter. Like it seemed like a completely different class. I didn't see anything reused, no assets reused. The only thing I can complain, I guess, is the way the characters look. Like they look as if they're beaten with an ugly stick. But that's, you know, just a minor complaint about the artistic style. If you can get past that, that's fine. So yeah, no, like Diablo 4 does look like a game I'm interested in. Does look like a game I'm excited about. Does look like a game that I would definitely purchase. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the comment section.